Hello friends, and welcome to my very first bullet journal setup. So this is going to be for the month of July. I have never done an official bullet journal before, so I'm really excited. I've watched about 150,000 videos. I've checked out about 500,000 Pinterest pins trying to look at like different things and trying to find things the way that I like them and I think would be aesthetically pleasing to me, which I kind of think is key from listening to all these people talk about bullet journaling and the best way and why you want a bullet journal. And for me, if it doesn't look nice, I probably won't use it. The same thing happens in my planner. So if I put down a sticker kit in my planner and I'm not particularly happy with the way it looks, or I don't like it, or like it's hard for me to write on the stickers because it's like some weird paper, like with Scribble Prints Co. That happens with Simply Gilded. It happens if I don't use the right pen and I mess it up. I just don't fill that week out. And so I kind of feel like the same thing would happen with the bullet journal. So I'm being kind of really picky and kind of weird about my setups. So it took me a really long time to decide on how I wanted to do the opening pages, because it was like the most important thing to me was that the opening pages for the month of July look nice, so that it was something that would make me excited to keep going after this. So what I decided to do was to put down my newest collection, which is Cafe Leafy. I decided to take like pick apart pieces of that and draw it into my bullet journal and use it with the Acrylograph pens. Now, a couple of things that I'm going to tell you about the Acrylograph pens is, number one, I love them. Absolutely love them. They are fantastic, so much so that I have ordered 2 more sets that are on their way. And I'm actually going to wait until they get here. I have plenty of time. This is for July. So I'm going to wait until they get here to finish setting up. Like, I have this already. I don't show you in this video, but each page has a little pencil writing of what I want to be on that page. So like right after this is my monthly review page, and then there'll be a weekly setup, and then there'll be the bullet journaling parts, the things that I want to track, or my to-do list, stuff like that. So there'll be a house one, a shop one. So the whole entire book is going to have kind of like a theme. So the month of July is going to be Cafe Leafy, because that is the newest collection that just came out in the shop. And so I'm kind of pulling pieces and parts from all of the different little leafy characters that I just did for that set. And I think it came out really cute. The other thing about these pens though is when you shake them up to use them, you can see that little dot. I pointed it out when I very first pulled the cap off. So you got to shake these guys up really good. And then once you finish shaking them up, that little white square off to the side is a little square that I can wipe off and use to prime the pen. So you have to prime the pens by kind of pushing up and down on the nib until the paint comes out and gets the nib wet, and then you can do this. So what happened was, when I was shaking the white one and I pulled the cap off, a part of it popped out and got onto the page, and there's nothing you can do about that. So if that happens, you just got to kind of roll with it and either incorporate it into your layout or just pretend like it's not there, because if you try to wipe that off, you're just going to make a smear of paint. This is like paint, so you're not going to get it off. Anyway, about the design. So some of these pieces are actually in the kit, like this right here with the little vines and the leaves and the florals and all that stuff was in the kit. So this is around the window that says open in the cafe. And so I decided I can't have like little leafy characters without putting their flowers and their little vines and stuff in here, because that's very much a part of that character, is the leaf part of it and the plant part of it. So I decided to put those around the cafe sign. And then I'm just going to start kind of filling in some of the pieces and parts that I decided that I wanted in here. So inside of the kit itself, there's actually a sign, like a cafe sign that you would put on like a chalkboard or something, and it looks similar to this with all the little characters and all the different like coffees and things that you can get. So I did make some changes along the way with the pencil. You can see that I kind of put down the pencil everywhere, because if I didn't, we would be sitting here all day. It took me forever. I probably erased this like 500 times before I actually started like figuring out exactly what I wanted. And you can see here that I'm still making changes as I go. So right here I messed up. That was supposed to be behind her, so I'm going to try to fix that. I'm like trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to fix it. So I do. It's fine. One of the nice things about these paint pens is that they layer. So if all you gotta do is let it set for like 30 seconds, and you can go right over the top of it with another color, and it totally just like sits right on top of each other. And you can see an example of that over the J. So I took where I did the vine, it went right over the top of it, and you can see that nothing smeared, nothing happened, it went right over the top, so it's absolutely perfect. And then I'm going to start putting the little flowers in. So I'm just putting some little pink like scribbly flowers all over the ends, which is all also in the kit. It's the same thing that I did in the kit, and then it's just going to finish filling them out. The other thing that I want to tell you about these pens is about making sure that you have something to wipe them off with. So when I'm using the ruler, if you notice, like I take it away and then I wipe it, and then I put the ruler back down and I do the next line. Because if you don't do that, you're going to end up with a mess, because it's not going to dry on the ruler fast enough for you to put it back down. When you're doing like one line after another, you need, I'd say, probably about 30 seconds. So if you give it about 30 seconds to dry, you'll be okay. But it's probably easier if you just wipe it off. So I have a little paper towel sitting off the side, and I just use that to kind of wipe it, and then it's fine. And then you can see if you start to dry out, if your marker starts to dry, you just push the nib down, and that's what that little square is off to the side. And that little square right there is kind of like plastic, so I can wipe it off, and it just wipes right off with water, and then it cleans right up nicely. So that's why that's sitting there. And so you push down on the little nib, and that's how you get the paint to come out and fill the little nib. These also come with extra ones, so if you push too hard and you're like a monster with it and you flatten the nib, you can replace it and then learn your lesson, and don't be so rough. So you just have to be gentle with it and not like smash it. You don't need to smash it. It's really easy to push it down and get it to work. So I'm just going to finish kind of filling this out, and this is like the monthly setup part. So I have the month off to the other side, and I just decided on the parts of the month where there's no days, because it starts on the 1st, which is a Saturday, and ends on a Tuesday, on a Monday. I've got a ton of space on the top and the bottom. So I ended up just taking that, and that's the washi. So in the kit itself, that's the washi minus the little faces on the cupcakes. I didn't put those, but it's also on the monthly, it's the top banner for the monthly kit. And the other thing is Leafy has black eyes, but this is a black paper, and I don't have a actual black pen, a black paint pen. I'm sure the black paint pen would probably work on blackout paper, and I am going to get a black pen, but for right now I don't have one, so I ended up using brown. But I just don't like it. I don't like the eyes. I like them better when they're black. So when I get a black pen, I will probably come back in here and go over the brown, because like I said, you can layer. So I will fix it when I get a black one, but I think it's in one of the sets that I bought. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back on the website and make sure that they're in there, and if they aren't, to see if I can find a black one and then just order it separately. But anyway, I hope you guys like this. I think it came out so cute. Oh, other thing I want to tell you, all that pencil in the background erases off and does not mess up your paint at all. So the image, once it's dry, like I said, just give it a couple minutes, you can erase all that pencil is gone. Like none of it is there anymore. So that's another really awesome thing about this, is that you can put down everything that you want in pencil first, and then you can just erase it and you wouldn't even know it was there. So yeah, and that's, I think, how I'm going to do the rest of the setup. So I spent, like I said, a lot of time kind of watching other people set up their bullet journals, because I wanted to get some ideas from them and just see if there was something, I'm being kind of picky about the way I set up my journal, because I want it to be useful. I want it to be something that I go back to every day and fill out. I don't want it to turn into something that's cumbersome and not fun, because this part is obviously fun, the drawing and getting it all set up, but then using it every day is something that I want to make sure gets done. So I found on Pinterest a lot of different ideas for how to best to use my bullet journal the way that I want to use it. So one of the things that I wanted for this was to have like a house section and a shop section. So my pages right after this one right here is going to be like my monthly review. So all the things in the month that I kind of want to make sure get done. They may not. They may not get done, and it's not a big deal, but I want to be able to write them all down so that I can check them off or move them to the next month. And then at the end of the year, since this is only a 6-month journal, at the end of the year, I will take all of the things that didn't get done, decide what's important, and then move it to January for the next setup. So I'm planning on this being a long-term thing. I think it's going to work out really well, because one of the problems that I have is I have like 150,000 things to do between the house and the shop, and a lot of things get missed because I forget. I forget about projects that I need to have finished. I forget about things that I said I would do, and then I don't get them done because I'm just like overwhelmed with so many things. And it's my own fault. It's not anybody else's fault. It's my fault, because I put a lot of pressure on myself to get certain things done and to try to like be in 10,000 places at once. So I need something to keep me organized and to figure out exactly what needs to get done, what's important, what isn't, and what things can get moved to the following month. So that is one of the reasons why I really, really want this bullet journal to be functional. And you can see there that when I picked up, just as a side note, when I picked up the ruler, I slid it. And you can see that little bit of paint, which is why I'm saying, like, make sure when you use the ruler to do your lines, to pick it up straight and don't drag it like I did, because you will get paint everywhere. Anyway, so back to this. As far as like the bullet part of it, like I have things where certain pages in Pinterest where I saved them to a bullet journal board. It's not private. If you want to go and check it out, it's Coco and Fluff. You can find me on Pinterest, and you can check out some of the ones that I want to use for journaling. And I think I picked out some really good pages and good ideas that I'm going to incorporate. They're not going to be exactly the same, but they're going to get incorporated into the journal as what will work best for me with home stuff, shop stuff, even work stuff, like my job that pays the bills job, because there's tasks that need to be done there as well that I have a really bad habit of not doing. So anyway, that is my setup. I hope you guys like it. There it is. See, all the pencil marks are gone. Totally can erase those. It looks absolutely fantastic. I love this. It's so stinking cute, and I can't wait to set up the next week's. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope this is fun for you to watch. I hope you like this series, because I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to do the weekly setups as well, and I will see you again on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.